Hello everyone! Today, we're going to talk about challenges and new directions in assessing grammatical ability, specifically grammar assessment. What it is, why it matters, and how we can make it more effective in language learning. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a clear understanding of different types of grammar assessments and how to use them in teaching. Before we delve into our topic, let me first introduce myself. I am Francis Palaran, your pre-service teacher for today's lesson. And here's our objectives. At the end of this lesson, you students will be able to first, understand the importance of grammar assessment in language learning. Identify key challenges in assessing grammars and learn different methods and frameworks for grammar assessment. First, let us define what is grammar assessment. Grammar assessment is the process of evaluating how well students use grammatical structures in speaking and writing. It's not just about memorizing rules, but also about applying them correctly in real-life communication. For example, a student might know the past tense rule but say, "I go to school yesterday," instead of "I went to school yesterday." So in simple terms, grammar assessment helps us to examine the ability of our students to apply grammar rules correctly and accordingly. Though this process may seem a prescriptivist approach, but in this way, we're able to know the things that we should improve in our teaching strategies that could somehow help students practice and improve their grammars. Though grammar assessment may seem possible, but let us remember that there's always a challenges on it. One of the biggest challenges in grammar assessment is balancing form and meaning. A student might get a sentence grammatically correct, but fail to express the right meaning. Another one is the scoring. As a teacher, should we just only give full mark for correct answers, or allow a partial credit for close attempts? Although we need to base their scores according to the rubric, but the effort of our student should be appreciated. So let's give them at least a score that somehow reflect to their efforts. In this way, we acknowledge their hard work, making them more comfortable to practice, write, and speak again and again till they get it right. In addition, there is also instances that our students may find it hard to differentiate what is the literal meaning versus the pragmatic meaning of either a word, sentences, or phrases. And lastly, the authenticity. Some tests do not reflect how grammar is used in real-life scenario. That's why students find it hard to assess the authenticity of their work. So these are just common challenges in assessing grammar. So there are many challenges, but yet we need to focus on this. Now, let me provide to you the effective strategies for grammar testing. First, combine different types tests. Use a mix of traditional and communicative tasks, like multiple choice tests on verb tenses. To create an effective grammar test, we need to mix a different test types, like again, a multiple choice quiz might be useful for checking basic grammars or knowledges. Second, assess both accuracy and meaning. Grammar should help students express ideas. Example, writing a short story using past tense. Instead of just asking students to fill in the blanks, we can have them write a short dialogue using specific grammar structures. And lastly, use a real-life task. Make tasks relevant to everyday situations. For example, having a role-play activity using modal verbs, example, giving advice. In this way, we're able to help them use grammar naturally. Since I have provided you the effective strategies for grammar testings, now let me give you the effective grammar assessment strategies. First, grammar tests should assess accuracy or the correct use of rules. Second, the meaning, how grammar conveys ideas. And this is very important because we're able to see the creativity of our students on how they use the sentences or how they convey the ideas through writing or speaking. And lastly, context, how grammar is used in communication. It is very important because grammar helps us to convey our ideas to others, leading us to have a good communication to others. Now, if we did not use the grammar correctly, now there are instances that they could misunderstood our points, leading to friendship loss or undesirable outcome. We have already discussed the challenges in grammar assessment, effective strategies or grammar testing, and effective grammar assessment strategies. Now let me give to you the characteristics of a good grammar test. Now it is very important since we are future educators, or if you want to be a future educator, now it is very important to know the good characteristics of grammar tests. First, validity. Measure what it intends to. So it's very important because the grammar assessment focuses on the measurement of what are we going to assess. It's either their grammar, their vocabulary, or somehow the usage of their grammar in the sentences. Second, reliability, consistent scoring. So as teachers, rubric should be given accordingly. It should be given before the task. Third, authenticity, reflects real-life language use. And lastly, fairness, suitable for different learners. Now it is very important that when you are going to assess the grammar of your students, it should be fair. All student can access or could somehow relate to the task you were given, because students were composed of different ethnicity, different race, different gender, different language used in their homes. So it should be fair. All should be accessible, all students can access, and all should be relatable by your students. Next, why is grammar assessment important? Assessing grammar is important because it helps us understand students' strengths and areas where they need improvement. It also guides teachers in adjusting their lessons. Imagine trying to build a house without checking if the foundation is strong. Grammar works the same way in language learning. So yeah, Assessing grammar should be the topmost priority when checking our students' work. I hope you've gained something from our lesson. Now for your key takeaways, grammar assessment should be meaningful, balanced, and fair. We should use both traditional and communicative tests to evaluate students' progress. And most importantly, feedback should help students learn and improve, not just give them a score. Thank you for listening and God bless.